There's a few things that I want to highlight, which the first one is that when you're talking about large companies, you are talking about stakeholders who are navigating, incredibly complex systems. Those of us who are not part of a large corporation, it's a little bit hard to get visibility into how those complex systems are structured and what the pathways are to decision making and potential barriers. So I think that, that sort of first piece of recognizing that it seems so straightforward, my person's excited, and why aren't they adopting, has a lot to do with the fact that this was, a very complicated system that people have to make their way through to get to yes. Secondly, I would talk about incentive alignment, and this is often quite hidden. I think a lot of times we see organizations that are trying to work to make jobs better, and that's the type of research that we do. We see them come with a really strong business case for why companies will benefit from taking whatever step is or using whatever program it is. And the problem is that a strong business case is not enough. I am so sorry to be the deliverer of this bad news. But we need to have strategic alignment with where the business is at. So a business that says, our highest priority for the success is that we get our supply chain, organized so that we're able to, get product into the country when we need it. Talking to them about turnover, even though your offering is incredibly strong at reducing turnover, it's going to be very hard to get heard. That said, if that's the goal of the overall organization, but a division that you're interested in is experiencing high turnover, you may have an opportunity. So the understanding and navigating the complexity is really difficult. And you are often going to be most successful when the stakeholders that are close to the decision makers are feeling a lot of pain. So not to exploit people in their difficulties, but when you see somebody who is in a lot of pain and they have a responsibility to deal with a big problem, that's a good opportunity because then they will have more chances of successfully navigating a complex system because they're being held accountable. And the third piece of it I just want to end with is that timing matters, and it stinks, right? Because we're ready to go now. But if an organization is not ready to take a step, it's going to be, an uphill battle. If the stakeholder or the person who you are trying to, engage and to become a champion is retiring in a year, you may not know this, right? But they're just not moving and they're kind of delaying and you don't understand why. If they're retiring in a year, are they going to take on something that's going to have a 2 to 3 year success horizon? Probably not. And it's not because what you're doing isn't valuable or important to the company. It's because individual incentive alignment plays out too.